Hello, welcome to Kevlar's Quest, the Modern Life podcast. I'm Kevin Ejezi. Today's quest is love, facts, and finding your perfect match. Love, facts, and finding your perfect match. Now, let's talk about relationships, but not in the usual way that you know. I want to introduce you to a surprisingly useful idea that might sound silly at first. It's about facts. That's mess. You know how bad farts smell or someone's mess smells? Yes, farts. But stick with me because this is actually a metaphor for something much deeper. In every relationship, there comes a moment when you have to decide, do I hold it in or do I let it out? And I'm not talking about actual gas. I'm talking about all the messy, awkward, not so pretty parts of who we are. Our flaws, our quirks, our bad moods, our selfish moments. We all have them. So the question becomes, do you hide those parts from your partner or do you show them? This leads us to two types of people, holders and sniffers. Holders are the ones who try to keep things clean and smooth. They want peace, harmony, and good vibes. So they hold in their farts. They don't show every part of themselves, especially the parts that might cause tension. They are kind of like professionals who work professionally and don't want anything to spill off, to be informal. They always want everything to be formal. They are polite, composed, and careful. And that works, but for a while. Because they can't hold it in forever. That gets uncomfortable. Eventually, something has to cave in because they are trying to hold on. That's so much pressure because everybody has a negative part and it usually comes out from time to time. So how will you be able to sustain that your negative part not coming out because you are holding it in? You are trying to hold in that fat or that mess. That's why holders need space. Just like you don't live in an office, you shouldn't have to perform all the time in a relationship. You need breaks, time to be yourself. If holders don't get that space, they might start acting out in a weird ways to make them feel free again. That's why I see some people sometimes they blot out and they start shouting. It's because they've been holding it in and they've not been given space to go and rejuvenate and come back. Because remember, they are holders, they are holding in their fats. They don't want their negative part to show. Now, let's talk about sniffers. They are the opposite. They want the real deal. They believe love should be raw and honest. They would rather argue with you than pretend that everything is fine. They want to be accepted for who they truly are. They want you to, even though that you don't like their whats or their fats and all, you should be able to show it. But that will not stop them from continuing to do it. They want to know whether you like it like that, and they can also bond with you based on that. And when it works, it's beautiful, it's deep, it's authentic. You can see that these two people, they are really understanding themselves. But here's the catch in all this. Sniffers also have to accept their partner's reaction. Yes, if your partner say, I don't like this now, why would you just be farting here? You have to accept it and know that, okay, he doesn't like it or she doesn't like it. If your partner gets annoyed or goes out by your farts, that's part of the deal. You can't demand unconditional love from someone without offering it back, which means if the person is able to accept your own, you should also be able to accept the person's own. And sometimes being your full-fledged self might not be attractive to the other person. And this is how you will know whether you and somebody will work. It's just reality. If somebody doesn't like you being a sniffer, it's only logical that the other person will not like you because you are not a sniffer. But if you're a sniffer also, you will enjoy each other. So most of the times, holders like holders and sniffers like sniffers. If it's something that is opposite, they will not like each other, and that will lead to the relationship not working. So whether you're a sniffer or a holder, you need to choose someone that also accepts you the way you are. There are some people, because they know that both of them are holders, when they hold in things together, when they blot out, they'll just say, allow her, allow him, or allow her to blot out, because them too, they know that that is the way they are. Why sniffers? The spouse can just fart in front of them, and it will now be something funny because they know that they too, they normally do it, and they will understand each other. But when it becomes opposite, they don't accept each other. It becomes a problem because they are opposite. So what's the takeaway in all this? Whether you're a holder or a sniffer, you need to be honest about what kind of discomfort you are willing to deal with. Because both parts come with pain. Holding back can feel suffocating. Letting it all out can lead to conflict. There is no perfect answer, just the one that fits you best. And here's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten. You have got to like the smell of her farts or his farts, which translates to everyone has flaws, but some flaws will feel like cute attitude to you, while others will drive you up the wall. So choose someone whose farts you can live with, and if you're a sniffer, try to find someone who at least trying to clean up their act. At the end of the day, relationships aren't about perfection. It's about finding someone whose weirdness matches yours. So whether you are holding it in or letting it rip out, just make sure you are doing it with the right person. Okay, that's our quest for today. Please subscribe, like, and share. Someone out there needs to hear this message. Maybe someone like you. Let's spread strength and clarity to those navigating this journey. We'll talk more in future episodes. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for listening and take care.